This is Salamancer. You are watching SalTV Competitive TF2, and I've got an invite game for you today. It does look like today is actually like the day of soldiers not holding their weapons correctly, and I don't really know why that is, but soldier, that is not a rocket launcher, it is a shotgun. Try again. But that is going to be Tyrone of Leviathan Gaming. Good old Tyrone. He's actually one of the crowd favorites of TF2. We're going to be watching Leviathan Gaming versus the Pinball Wizards, and it's time to see whether LG can put up or shut up without Clockwork on Granary. They still have Banny, of course. Boulder taken down right away. And that is Raw Dog actually getting a bunch of damage on him with the pistol at mid. Shrugger, meanwhile, Raw Dog, by the way, is Bloodsire. Those are the people who were asking. Right away, I want to clear that up. Raw Dog is Bloodsire. He's a long-time TF2 player, invite guy. Just generally, Shrugger is going huge. Holy crap! We picked the right camera here. He's just gotten 3 kills, going for a 4th. Dave AC gets finished off. Shrugger just single-handedly swung that mid-around in favor of the Pinball Wizards. Holy crap. Yes, so Raw Dog is Bloodsire. That's the point. LG without Clockwork may struggle a little bit. Now, Bloodsire is a really good replacement. He's not as DM focused as Clockwork. Clockwork was just like this absolutely outstanding DM player. Bloodsire is a much more metagame, really smart player who does all kinds of weird hiding spots and stuff. And right now he is just playing Scout. Let's see if he's doing anything crazy or interesting. Nope, he's going to switch off to the Heavy. Pretty standard actually for him to do that. So that's nothing especially smart, but it looks like we've got some voice going on. And really the Heavy is just because they've got an Uber disadvantage and they want to make sure they don't lose this round if they can avoid it. So they've got this Heavy trying to force the Uber out of him, trying to take a lot of damage. He'll try to retreat for now and just put himself in a position where he can deal the damage. But Banny gets taken down, and it's now up to Dave AC to try and get some kills on this Scout over here. Scout's doing some good damage, but not able to quite finish him off. Squid is down. Tyrone and Dave, the only ones left, and Dave mining for gold, but he walks over the sticky of Boulder, not able to quite react in time there. All right, Doman taking a drink of his pan. Now 1-0 for the Pinball Wizards. And I'm not sure what the "don't worry, it's legal" thing was. But it's time to watch some more going huge in this game. And guys, if you are at all inspired to try out competitive TF2, please check out the NA 6v6 newbie mix. What is Boulder doing? That is the weirdest rollout I've ever seen. He didn't know which side he wanted to go on, and he did just die there. Was that a result of his weird rollout where he didn't get there quite in the amount of time he wanted? I don't know. Now Zebrine did get a nice help assist kill there, I guess, on Dave AC. There's actually Shrugger with the finisher move. But we are going to watch the Shade cam for a little bit as he helps his team push forward, and LG will now win that mid-fight. Shade is a pretty cool guy, by the way. He is actually running some podcasts at the moment on his Twitch TV channel and on his YouTube. He reposts them to YouTube. And the podcasts are all about getting a bunch of really high-level competitive players to just sit down and talk about TF2 and where it's going and their teams, all kinds of stuff. So I highly recommend checking those out. They have a lot of fun on those. It's pretty hilarious. They've tried to get Banny to sing. They do stream bombs, so after they're done with their podcast, they go bomb other players' streams. Pretty cool. Shade, pretty stand-up guy. And Squid is getting ready to lay down some damage here as the sniper. But this is a very standard move, and so LG should be expecting this. Invite teams, almost always, you will see them pop that Uber straight through the door. Squid wants to kill, not able to even hit that soldier, I don't think. And now he is getting the pressure. Good Uber by Leviathan Gaming. Sizer gets the kill on Squid, and very quickly I think Leviathan Gaming will start trying to cap this last point here. Relic wants to take out Tyrone, and he will. Good heavy play here. That's a second, not quite the kill for Relic, but he did at least do the damage. Nonetheless, it is too late. Pinball Wizards losing that round. And do I see that right? Is that actually the Relic? Back on Soldier for Pinball Wizards. It just might be. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Relic. Relic, we're going to watch you for now. Haven't gone over the rosters recently. So LG, we know most of their roster if you have paid any attention to TF2 competitive. Of course, Bloodsire, Raw Dog replacing Clockwork, and Dave AC replacing Mackie. Shade, their medic, he has been for the last couple seasons. Banny and Tyrone, of course, and Sizer are staples of the LG team. Meanwhile, as we get out here, we are watching Relic take a nice big jump, but he does die there. First man to actually die at the mid-fight. Now we are watching the Bloodsire cam, but he dies as well, in fact. It's just going to be deaths all over the place. So we'll finish watching Banny, I guess, as we go over the Pinball Wizards roster. Banny actually trying to escape. There's maybe not. This is going to be There you go. Sizer with a nice kill. And he's going to try and finish off Boulder as well. Be careful about what damage Boulder does to him. I want to go with the rosters, but there's too much action. There you go. Banny finishes off Boulder. Okay. So the roster for the Pinball Wizards is Shrugger and I want to say Squid on the Scouts. You got Chimp Feet on the Medic. And I've seen him work his way up the ranks as well. I know I saw him in IM last season, I think. So good to see some new blood in Invite doing some crazy work. I don't know where he's come from. I should probably try and ask and figure that out at some point. Try and figure out all of his background. Relic, a soldier who has been an Invite before. I think he might have taken a break for a season, but he is back now. Boulder on the Demo Man, and Boulder's been working his way up through the ranks, through like intermediate. He's long been considered a very good Demo Man as well. And then Zebrian finally rounding off that roster on the soldier. Relic does get taken out there, but he plays Roamer, and he plays it pretty well, actually. He very nearly forced Shade to pop that Uber. You see Shade was down to like 30 health there. He didn't pop, and that is a sign of just how good a medic Shade is. He knew that the Uber pop would not have mattered there, so he went balls to the wall and decided that was it. He was just going to decide not to pop the Uber. I like it. I like that play a lot. Squid gets taken out there. It is just Relic left now. So LG pushing forward. And they'll go take that out. A nice textbook push there. Very well played, and it was all of that was thanks to Shade, pretty much, just not popping his Uber until his team was in position to actually use it. And this comes back to something I said in the last game as well, which I think Pierre might agree with, if I'm not being a complete idiot, but that is that you have to be using your Uber for something useful. A reactive Uber pop is about the least useful thing you can actually... Hi, Banny. The least useful thing that you can use an Uber for. If you're just popping it because you get bombed and all you're doing is keeping your med alive, sometimes it's actually better to rely on your team to defend you and take the risk, because that way you can turn around and use the Uber for something really, really useful. So it's more about trying to keep your team in position to defend you the whole time. Banny is one of the few players left alive for his team and is taking some damage from Boulder, but doing a very good job predicting the movements. Boulder decides he wants to help build this Uber, I guess. And Shrugger, for some reason, got caught on that wall there. Not sure what happened. He was trying to escape, and Banny is maybe laying some traps here. Don't know. He's going to try to go back in and lay some damage down on Chimpy. Maybe force the pop, but he didn't actually get any damage done, so now it is time to retreat. No, it's not. He's ready to lay down more traps. I guess the rest of his team is going to start trying to hold yard. And this is a very actually risky move by Banny to be that far forward, but he decided he wanted to lay that sticky trap, and he knew that his opponents were not going to be pushing in because the Pinball Wizards had just barely won that mid-fight, and they didn't have the strength to push. So now Banny is going to be watching the sticky trap, and we'll have to see. I think the Scout, no, the Scout has not spotted it. He spotted this one over here, but it's very obvious. Nobody spotted the one over there. Nobody's actually taking the damage, though. Med right there. Oh, so close. But no, it is not going to happen, and now the Uber is going to come in here, so I think the stickies are popped. No trap actually going to work. Regardless, it is Uber versus Uber, and Shade right now is using Tyrone here just to try and throw off the enemy team. This has actually been a very good Uber for LG. They managed to pop it later, and they didn't have to multi-Uber. The rest of the team got away. Now Tyrone is behind enemy lines, taking down Chimp Feet, and he's going to go for the Demo Man here as well. He does finish off Boulder, getting that revenge. Actually, that was Bloodsire with the kill, but Tyrone did a lot of damage. He got the assist. It counts. And yeah, I am streaming this live, of course, as well as posting it to YouTube, and right now, I don't know if Pierre is still watching, but Pierre does like to say hi in my stream chat, and he is one of the greatest TF2 streamers of all time. Tyrone, of course, has an amazing stream as well. If you ever want to watch Tyrone's live stream, I really recommend doing that, because he's got an awesome personality. But a lot of these guys are starting to really realize, hey, these TF2 personalities, they're starting to grow. And I really do recommend watching. Like, the pure Giggly Guy casts are utterly hilarious. And there's some really consistently awesome streams out of, like, Sean Bud and out of Lang as well. Squid sniping from spawn right now. He's not really going to get away with a lot, but look what he's going to do. He's just going to change classes, and that's going to move him back to the last point spawn. So a decent choice by him. He tried to take a risk, and Shade gets taken out by Zebrian. So that is a very good play by Zebrian. Don't know where he was, but that gives the Pinball Wizards a chance to defend their second point and try to push right back out into LG. I wish I could. You know what? We probably should rewind it for Zebrian here, so we're going to do that. Okay, so Zebrian is in this really weird spot. It's tough to get up here, but it's actually very... that tough. You just have to do a double rocket jump, and you can kind of stand on this really weird ledge. So this is where he is. This is how he gets that drop, and nobody notices him up here. He just jumps straight down onto Shade, gets the kill, easy enough. One more stream to watch, by the way. Banny just started streaming. Highly recommend that one. You can get to watch him as he practices demo and does scrims and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, that's how Pinball Wizards got that Uber drop. Zebraham with a very good hiding spot there. Not very often used, I guess. And we have one more question for my stream chat. I guess since Pinball Wizards are pushing here, I may not be able to answer it right away, but Chimpfeed is going to have an Uber. He'll be able to push this in. But somebody's saying, what would you recommend for someone to start to shoutcast? Well, I would say just start doing it, pretty much. Find a game that you want to cast, and you can find them easily enough. A good backcap here going on by LG, and I think they're actually going to get away with it. Relic trying to stop this, and very good rocket jumping to get in to stop that. Tyrone's going to jump for the last point, but he will get jumped by Relic. Oh, Relic not able to stop that, though. Leviathan Gaming bringing it to the half. We're going to watch the Banny roll out here on his way. This 3-1. That was a weird sticky lay point there, whatever it is. Anyway, somebody's saying, how do you get started shoutcasting? If you want to shoutcast TF2, you got to find an STV demo, pretty much, and then just start doing it. And post it to YouTube, ask for criticisms, and see what you can improve, and try to improve quickly. That's kind of what I did. But finding the demos, I mean, there's all kinds of places to go. If you want to cast ESEA, the ESEA site, you just have to go, look for a team, look for the schedule, whatever. It's a pretty good mid-fight right now, actually, so we're going to ignore that for a minute. As Sizer gets on top of the med, but doesn't have anything loaded, so wasn't able to get the kill. But he did somehow hit Shrugger there by accident, I think. I don't think that was the kill he was going for. Does get taken out as Boulder finishes him off, saving his med, and Chimpfeet will be able to get back out of here with 100% Uber. They're going to want to hold yard if they can. They don't want to get pressured too hard here, so they got to watch for enemies to try and flank. Which is actually not happening yet, so they should be able to push right back into yard with the rest of their team. But yeah, the ESEA website has a lot of easy-to-access demos, and you can even tell what the score is. So you just go into it and be like, oh, I want to cast a 5-4, or I really want to cast like a 5-0 roll, whatever. Or find your favorite team. It's so easy on the ESEA website to do all that. TF2 demos and vanilla TF2 and ETF2L all have their own demo repositories, but they're not as consistently updated. But you can find pretty much whatever you want, or you can just ask your friends from Highlander or whatever. Just be like, hey, do you have a demo you want me to cast? Because I want to try it. It's very easy to find those demos if you just look a little bit. So if you want to try shoutcasting, I highly recommend just going for it. And maybe even get a friend of yours who plays TF2 to help out, do some analysis, shoot the shit a little bit, as it were. And Shrugger is just all over the place, taking down Tyrone right now, but he's the only one left. He's got to watch out for an Uber Scout. He's just not taking any damage right now, and he takes down Shade. He's going to go for this Scout here as well. It is Sizer who is overhealed, and so Sizer does get the kill on Shrugger, but not before Shrugger, just beast aims it onto the medic just as the Uber charge ended and destroyed Shade. Oh, and yeah, of course we talked about Shade streaming. He does that. My stream chat keeps bringing up new streams to watch, and of course there's all kinds of good streams out there. The best place to watch them is probably going to be on teamfortress.tv. You can check out all of the streams, any stream you want, and you can switch between them very easily. You can tell which ones are live, you can tell how many viewers they all have. So, teamfortress.tv, great place to go watch streams. Highly recommend just checking that out and deciding for yourself. And Sizer is going to, well, maybe try to take this jump up here. Yes, he will. And then, interesting, he's going to stand on top of the boiler up here, I guess. Is that a boiler? I don't know. But it is up to LG when they want to push right now. They got to watch out for Squid on the sniper and Shrugger on the heavy. And Squid is going to go for the snipes. Actually, it's going to be really tough to tell what's happening here. Because he's hiding behind the wall. He can see, we can't. It's just a weird feature of the STV. So he is watching for enemies to walk in here, and we'll see whether he actually gets a kill. This is usually a very low value play. You can't usually get the kill. Interestingly, who is this? This is Bloodsire on the sniper, and he is going to die. No question. But since he's the only one who died, there's not really a lot the Pinball Wizards can do about it. Like, if they try to push out, they're just going to walk into a sticky trap and die. Or at the very least have their Uber forced and not be able to get the point captured that they want. So they're pretty much in the position of having to wait for LG to push in and wipe out. It kind of sucks. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? That is just how you play TF2 at this level. And let's see. Boulder is actually really far forward. In fact, most of them are. And you know why they're up here? It's because they know there's a sniper. They want to make sure they don't lose their med. They don't lose any of their important players here. So That's why they're playing right there. It's because the sniper is not going to be able to get an angle on them at all. Not really going to be able to get an angle on this heavy either. This heavy is spun up and is going to destroy anybody who tries. Sniper actually just walking straight in. Boulder down for some reason. The Uber did not save him, but Tyrone and Bloodsire both go down, so don't know if this push is really going to be effective. Actually, it's not a push. Here's the thing, the med didn't come in. So it was just like this soft push with 2 or 3 players, and the Pinball Wizards let it happen. So now they're forced to bring Shrugger forward and try to make a push of their own. They can't cap the point, though. They don't have enough players on the field to do that. I'm not even sure what Dave is asking. But it does look like Pinball Wizards are probably going to lose this just because LG has such a huge Uber advantage. So they're pushing in now. They're able to get a lot of good positioning, which should lead to the kills. However, Pinball Wizards are getting a couple of nice ones themselves. Banny should be able to lay down sticks, but he might not have any loaded. He is just trying to get some damage done. Dave dying as well, and Pinball Wizards managed to wipe that out. It was all about Shrugger and Boulder there, getting the kills. So, quite a beautiful thing. Oh, hello. There we go. Getting that defense rolling. And that is the 2 scouts getting the cap. So Shrugger and Squid, now they of course have to watch out for the re-push by all the spawners from LG, and they weren't able to stop that. So actually that cap almost meant nothing as they are back in the same position. That kind of sucks. They weren't able to get the rest of their spawners up in time to save that. Bloodsire just kind of walks in and dies though. But still, they can't push this. It's so tough because they lost too many players in that LG assault, and so they weren't able to effectively hold the second point. Now they've lost Squid. LG thinking about making a little soft push here, going after the med or something, pretending to be fully charged, which actually, if you say that around 80%, if you call out a fake charge around 80, it becomes a very believable fake crits. Because of course the crits charges that much faster than the Uber. So if you're charging a regular Uber and you call it out around 80%, then the enemy might think you actually have a crits and they'll get like really scared of it if they're thinking. But sometimes they might also realize you're faking it. I don't know. It's just a neat little idea for you to use whenever you feel like in a 6v6 or 9v9. Could work in Highlander too. It's going to be Squid versus Bloodsire here, and Bloodsire is actually overhealed, walking right in, didn't take any damage there. And once again, Pinball Wizards are actually allowing their opponents in. So this defense that they have, where everybody's on the high ground, everybody's kind of sitting over here, they're giving their enemies a lot of room to work with and a lot of room to maneuver themselves in past these doors. I'm not sure if I really like it all that well. To be perfectly honest, I don't think I like it at all. And Pinball Wizards, I mean, they're in some trouble here because it's still 3-1, but they're backed up onto their last point and they have no hope of moving out anytime soon. Apparently server map time left is 9 hours. Not sure what the deal is with that. Not able to stop that soldier. Dave AC just walks in there and forces the Uber. This is really not looking good for Pinball Wizards now. Once again, they're going to have a big Uber disadvantage. Bloodsire got the snipe on Boulder. And now Z-Brian's down as well, so Relic, I don't even know what he's doing. He's just like, yeah, whatever, we've lost this. He's still going to go for the kills. He's going to try and use his heavy there to absorb a lot of damage while he has to defend the point now. And there he goes, he's taking down by Bloodsire's headshot. So that's that. It is now 4-1 for Leviathan Gaming. So they lost the first point, and they haven't lost a point since. And you see Shade killing himself there. That's just because as these rounds start, you actually get like an instant respawn. And he really wanted to get a lot closer to the exit. It's actually really important on Granary. I don't do this when I play because I usually play pickup games where it doesn't matter too much, but it is so important for the medic to spawn on that left side along with the rest of his team, because if you don't, you're not going to be connected with the Demo Man. The Demo Man's going to get to mid with much less health than he should actually have. So that is why they have that bind to explode or to kill yourself or whatever it is. I'm not even sure if that bind works anymore, but you can kill yourself at the beginning of every round, and that's kind of what you have to do to make sure that you spawn in the right position as a med. Damage coming in now, and Leviathan Gaming once again losing a mid-fight. Boulder is going to like that, but it looks like... No, it wasn't a pause. Okay, so... Well, maybe it was a little... How many reloads did he just do? I don't even know. Whatever. Shrugger is going to start rolling in here, and they got to try to bring this back and make this a closer game. The Uber is in right now, and they're thinking about popping it, but they want to see if they can pop Shade first. Shade is in a very good position to not have to pop that Uber, however. And he's just going to make sure the rest of his team is healed up. So sitting this far back just means, you know, maybe he's going to lose that soldier. In fact, he definitely is. Tyrone gets taken out. But that was kind of Tyrone's plan in the first place. He knew if he went up there, he was going to die. And he was just trying to look to get the kill on Chimp Feet or make him pop Uber. And there you go. The Uber is popped now for the blue team. And look at Shade just milking this, trying to hold on to it for as long as possible. Now will catch up. And look at how many times he can actually flash the Uber. It makes it disappear so much faster. It drains your Uber really fast when you flash it like that. But if you pop it a lot later than your opponent's, I mean, it's a free set of flashes just because your opponent's Uber is going to end so quickly. Squid going for the kill here on whoever that scout is. And I think that actually was Bloodsire. But now he will try and escape. And he'll get away with it. Scout did not want to, you know, Bloodsire did not want to follow him down that pipe. He had done that drop down. If he had, it would have just been disastrous. He would have died, eaten a meat shot to the face with no ability to dodge at all. And LG, I mean, they want to repush this. They want to end this game. It is 4-1, and they actually could end it pretty soon. Pinball Wizards have positioning on mid, though, and Squid's going to be watching the flank. Doesn't want to let this scout in. I don't think the scout really wants to get in right now if he knows there's a scout there watching him. But oftentimes you'll see like one scout trying to bait the enemies into his partner. In this case, both scouts are just thinking about putting a lot of pressure up there. Not going to work, though. But you see LG, I mean, they're getting very confident about making these aggressive little pushes here. Even though they're not actually going in all the way, the fact that both the scouts walked in there and didn't take any rockets at all, it's going to make them feel confident about trying to come in here again. And they're just getting really close by. Banny's going to start laying some sticks down and doing some damage here to this soldier. And this soldier, Relic, finally realizing, I guess I should watch the flank instead of flying through walls. But no, he should be watching that flank and should not be letting these scouts take as much position as they are. Okay, so he's looking for sticks now. Doesn't see any, and this time around he thinks he may be able to... doesn't want to spam, though. Whatever. Whatever. Sounds like they are trying to... Wait, are they... What? Are they building an Uber? Why would they be building an Uber? I don't get it. Maybe he was just trying to take some high ground. I don't know. Regardless, Bloodsire is in an interesting little position here. But you didn't know you can get up to that little crate area. But yeah, I've never seen anybody actually stand there. Part of the reason, of course, is that you can just hit the wall behind them with a rocket and it does full splash damage. But Pinball Wizards trying to make a push through Garage, and they look like they're fairly committed to this. Relic is down. Demo Man trying to get some overheal, and they've done some damage to Shade, but Shade will just back right on up. Now we're going to watch the Banny cam, because I'm pretty sure this is going to mean a push from the Leviathan Gaming. They've got a one-player advantage. They didn't kill the demo, so it's possible they won't, but I think they want to. And they see the sticky traps, they're worried about it. And now they may have to start actually deciding to back out, which is going to be the good decision. If they back out here, that is the wise thing to do. Yeah, they've decided not to push. So they're just like, okay, we couldn't get through there because the demo man had us pegged. So, you know, pretty standard. They'll just kind of hang out and wait for the next opportunity that is afforded to them. Dave, with his circling planets, wonderful little Seussical hat there, is... oh, look at this scout! He actually could have... that scout actually could have jumped in. Boulder accusing them of parking the bus, but really LG, I mean, they wanted to push there. It was just that they were prevented from pushing. So, you know, they're not taking any major risks in making a push right now. But that's a very standard thing to do on Granary anyway. And yes, it's Granary. Stop making fun of how I say it. Actually, nobody's made fun of how I say it in quite a while. Maybe you should start making fun of how I say it. Whatever. Boulder landing some damage, but Shrugger's down. And in comes another attempted push, with Boulder not paying attention to a sticky trap up to the right, meaning that Tyrone got in and did some free damage. Relic has taken some hits again. Zebrian trying to escape, but Relic's already down. Looks like there are players inside on the right now, so LG's not parking the bus at all. They want to take this. They want to take this convincingly. We do have Uber exchange in the garage, but there's nobody for the blue medic to catch up with right now. Chimp Feet a little out of position. He does catch up with Boulder, trying to keep his players alive, and he's doing a pretty good job of keeping the, spreading out the heals. His players, on the other hand, are not doing a good job of dodging the damage, and Chimp Feet is in trouble. If I were a scout, I would be chasing him down right now. Sizer's going to do just that. Find the Sizer cam. Sizer going to get actually going to get caught out by this soldier here. Good dodging so far, but he does finally end up dying to that last rocket. So he tried to chase down Chimp Feet, didn't quite manage to do it. Nonetheless, Chimp Feet is at a bit of a disadvantage here. His team is not able to stop this cap. Very aggressive play by Tyrone, jumping straight in here, but he's got Banny to support him with all those sticky bombs, and Banny takes out Relic with a nice pipe there. So an attempted push here is just not going to work very well. Banny with the beautiful dodging as well. Zebrian not able to stop the capture that Bloodsire just completed, and is Banny actually in on last? He is. Nobody's in to stop him really except for Boulder, and Boulder will be able to stop that, but Banny is just going to completely out-DM him. Out-deathmatch, that is. DM does stand for deathmatch. So Banny in trouble. The Uber did take him down there, but he bought a lot of time for his team to get back in position and defend mid at the very least. And it turns out my stream, I guess I'm just having some difficulty with my internet or something, because my stream is like stopping and restarting all the time. I don't know whether that's my internet or whether it's the Twitch ingestion server, so I guess I have to apologize to all my live viewers. But of course, this is going to be on YouTube, and there will be no breaks on YouTube. There will be no like you know, disappearing, reappearing stream type stuff, because it's YouTube. You know, it's all going to be post-produced and rocking high definition quality from fraps. So, highly recommend the YouTube side of things. Subscribe on youtube.com/fatmop if you haven't already, because that's where all these awesome TF2 shoutcasts go, and various other TF2 related products by Salamancer. Yours truly. And they're all free, because, like, you know, I can't charge for YouTube videos. If I could charge for YouTube videos, I mean, I'd probably have like 5 cents by now. No, I do get paid actually by Machinima, but a good Uber coming in by LG, and they're actually having to retreat though. Taking a bit of damage, but they're being slow about this, very cautious to say, okay, we're gonna force the enemy Uber, we're gonna try to get a kill, and if it doesn't work, we can just back right on out and try again later. And that is what they're doing now. They're re-pushing, but they've lost so many players. It's going to be surprising to see whether they can do anything about this. Chimp Feet, though, in trouble. And Dave tries to take him out. Chimp Feet does get taken out by that rocket. Relic versus Tyrone. Now the only one's left, but Relic grabs the health and finishes off Tyrone with the rockets. So Relic is going to be... well, he doesn't look like he wants to push by himself. He knows that Bloodsire and Banny combo could take him out very easily. So instead, he's just going to hang out, wait for his team to respawn, wait for the positioning. And he's going to watch the flank over here on this right-hand side. So everything kind of resets. Raw Dog, a Bloodsire, standing on top of these lights. That's relatively easy to get on top of the lights. You know, you just get on top of the crate and then jump up to this, and that's actually a ledge you can stand on. So, you know, do some parkour. Bloodsire deciding to get aggressive with his positioning now and just pepper the enemy team a little bit. And now he is committed to this side. Zebrian is trying to get the... Oh, I'm sorry, Relic trying to get the kill. But here comes a Kritzkrieg taking out Chimp Feet right away. And Banny actually, that little reaction shot there where he tried to flick a crit sticky straight up into the air, he almost hit Boulder with that. Boulder turned out of the way at the last second. This soldier, this is Zebrian, I think. No, it's got to be Relic. Yeah, Relic trying to get the kill on Shade. And Shade saying, no, sir. That is going to be a needle kill. First of the game, possibly, on Relic. But Squid does finish him off. And then Banny, of course, with the pipes from heaven. Taking down Squid. Banny is now actually going to try and help take out Boulder as well, but Boulder was already at low health. Dave was able to hit him with one little melee attack and destroy that. So now LG is back attacking Pinball Wizards again on their last point, and they are in some trouble. They're not going to be able to push this back out. They are now having to sit back and wait for LG to potentially close out this game again. And the Pinballs just kind of have nothing to say about it except, well, I guess we'll sit here and build an Uber and wait for the inevitable push. How much time is left? Oh, 8 hours and 52 minutes. Well, thank you, ESEA. Let's see if this changes it. Or just kills it. Nope, okay, 8 hours, 52 minutes. Not sure what is going on with that ESEA server, but there definitely is not 8 hours left. It's more like probably 10 minutes left in the game at this rate. There is now an Uber ready to go. Shade is using the quick fix. Are you joking? What? Why? Why? I don't understand. Well, they're going to jump in and quick fix Uber. Maybe they're just not taking it all that seriously. Shade will die right away, and that quick fix was completely useless. I think they've realized, though, it's going to be very difficult for them to lose this game, and so they are just going to, you know, mess around a little bit. Of course, Bloodsire known as being a very good pyro, so he does take down, or try to take down Relic. Relic kills him, though. And I think that really was Shade saying, I feel bad that we tried that. And I would agree, like, you know, obviously they are probably going to win this game at this point because there's not a lot of time left for the Pinball Wizards to come back. But Pinball Wizards, I mean, they could come back from this. But yeah, it feels, sometimes it feels like it's a little bit bad-mannered if you're playing a game and you start to not take it seriously because you're so far ahead. Could cause some bad feelings in the other team. But, you know, it's always nice to see players try something new. And so if they were being serious about that quick fix push, it could be interesting. But they definitely lost the Uber advantage. Chimp Feet has a huge, huge advantage now. And they are going to be able to push onto the second point. LG wants to maybe get a sticky trap here. But I don't know where Banny has set it up right now. No, he actually has not set up a trap. He's just going to start trying to lay down some damage. Not going to work too well for him. And the Uber should probably come in to take the second point, which is going to give Pinball Wizards their chance to win a second round here and keep themselves in the game. Tyrone down right now. That is a good kill from Zebrian. So things are looking up at the moment for the Pinball Wizards. But looks like their pinball-related spells are not quite working as well for TF2. They cap that point, but they lose both of their scouts. And it seems like Leviathan Gaming know a few counter spells, at the very least. Relic getting taken out there, jumping in after the med, and he was not able to stop. Oh, wait, no, Shade is down, actually. Not sure what killed him. But LG's going to have some difficulty defending this. And Shrugger's actually coming up on heavy, interestingly enough. Sean Bud actually is watching my stream right now, which is pretty cool. I recommend Sean Bud's stream. But he says that apparently it was a practiced thing, that LG had attempted that in some scrims before, that quick fix push. Not really sure what it was supposed to do though. He's just saying don't overthink it. But apparently it is some kind of an actual strat out of LG. I don't know what that strat would be. And Shrugger getting taken down. LG able to hold on just barely though. Relic is on the point, but the scouts are going to finish him off. And LG with... What just happened? Hang on. Okay, I want to see what happened. What, like, Banny... What? The door just, like, closes, and he's like, what's going on? Alright, anyway, that's pretty cool. But Pinball Wizards are going to lose that second point, though. And Leviathan Gaming is back on the warpath here. No Uber advantage, and they are going to have to watch out for enemies coming in to try and recapture. But Banny is up. He's going to be able to significantly delay that with the sticky bombs. And I think Blue Team is starting to think about retreating, actually. They want to get the kills, but look at that. They lose 3 players very quickly. They're not able to get the capture. It's just Chimp Feet and Boulder left, and that is not a good position for them. So Boulder is retreating. He's going to start laying some sticks to try and cover the retreat, but the enemies are probably already coming in. And his med is going to die. Chimp Feet is just not long for this world. He's already down. Boulder gets taken out as well. Really, if I were them, I would have just continued to retreat because there was no way they were going to hold that. And Leviathan Gaming looking like they are ready to push it once again and complete their dominance this game. Because of this Uber advantage now, this could very easily turn to a 5-1 here for Leviathan Gaming. They just need to push back in to the second point with... who's going to lead the charge? Oh, Relic from inside spawn actually does get taken out there, but at least took down Banny, and that's a pretty big deal. You want to take down that Demo Man whenever possible to take a lot of damage off the field. Banny calling nice shot there. Relic thanking him for the compliments, but Bloodsire's into last right now. Getting pressured a little bit by a scout, and he does get taken down. Squid with a good kill. Banny going to come right back up, though, and he's almost ready to get in this game again. Chimp Feet down, had 94%, and Shade, after the Uber's over, actually gets a nice kill on Squid with the Uber Saw. It's now Tyrone and Sizer dealing the damage, and that's going to be it. A complete wipeout for the Pinball Wizards. So, ladies and gents, that is a soldier clipping through his own necktie, I guess. But that is Leviathan Gaming versus Pinball Wizards 5-1. Thank you for watching, of course. This has been SalTV. Do subscribe on youtube.com/fatmop and hit the follow button on Twitch TV/fatmop as well. And of course, watch all the streams on TeamFortress.tv that we were talking about. Whenever a player goes live, you will be one of the first to know.